Since undergoing the preliminary task, I feel that I have learned quite a lot to do with an array of areas. Looking back at the preliminary task, there is an extreme contrast in the quality of my work. This includes I have learned the importance of background sound and whether it is relevant to the shot itself, whether I should record a buzz track to be independent to the shot, to be relevant to what's going on within the shot. As you can hear, there's a lot of background noise and that makes a lot of distraction to the shot itself, whereas in the main task you can see I have recorded a buzz track of birds tweeting, which is relevant to the shot itself. Another thing I feel I have improved on since the preliminary task is the importance of what is visible to the audience and whether you're doing it for a reason or if it just doesn't look very professional at all. As you can see here, the phone isn't very visible at all, and that doesn't look very professional compared to the main task, in which you can see enough detail but not too much so that it's still being hinted to the audience. One of the main important things I feel I've learned since the preliminary task is the importance of a steady shot and how it can make something look very unprofessional. As you can see here, the shot is very wobbly and that takes attention away from the shot quality itself. Another thing I've learned is the importance of how things are placed on camera, so how they look to the audience. One of the characters here has their back to the camera, in which doesn't show enough information to the audience, whereas in the later task the character is placed a lot more interestingly. Here again the camera isn't very steady at all, and that is something I feel I have used a lot more successfully in the final task, and it's something that I feel is quite possibly the most important thing when it comes to making a media product, and that is something I definitely learned when making this task. As well as this, since the preliminary task, we weren't given as much guidance and we were given a lot more freedom and a chance to be a lot more creative with the task. And since the preliminary task, I have realised how important it is to think about your choices and to think about how they're portrayed to the audience, because how it looks to the audience is quite possibly one of the most important factors that you have to take into consideration. And that's something I felt I didn't have to consider as much in the preliminary task. And due to that, my confidence has rose quite a lot, because I now feel a lot more confident with my own choices and to work as a team and also quite independently to perhaps make up my own decisions and voice them to the rest of the group. And I think the main thing I've learned since the preliminary task, because we were put into groups, and I think it taught me how to work well with different people that perhaps you wouldn't choose to work with